We got big doings going on around here lately. In a few days, my grandson Cameron's marrying his beautiful fiance, Jocelyn. So there's lots of excitement, lots of things to do, and I volunteered for a few things, and so I'm busy. So this is going to be a quick and easy turning of mesquite. And this may look familiar to you. It was probably in the last couple of months I turned a mesquite trivet. This piece is about twice as thick as that trivet, and it's going to be a mesquite bowl. I am going to try to carry over some of the aspects of that trivet to this piece so that they'll kind of match. Maybe this bowl will sit on top of the trivet. I don't know. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as we like to say here at Shady Acres Wood Shop. Howdy, let's take a closer look at it. The piece is about 5.5 inches in diameter, about 1.75 inches thick. To remind you of what I'm talking about, this is the trivet that I turned a couple months ago, I guess. Same wood, same shape. I had to laugh. I got a comment just yesterday on this. Guy said, "What is that?" Well, clearly he skipped over parts of the video because we mentioned trivet many times and what a trivet is and what other people call a trivet. I mean, he wasn't paying attention, or he skipped over it or something, which is fine. You know, watch your video the way you want to watch it. I don't blame you. It's all good. But anyway, he asked me, "What is that?" So I said a trivet. And then I explained what a trivet is in my reply. Anyway, so you see how this has the beads around it. What I thought I might do is just put one bead like this, just one around this outside edge, just to be reminiscent of that. And then otherwise just turn it into a bowl. Probably a recess on the bottom, just like the trivet has, but I can go much deeper because it is about twice as thick. So it'll be fun. Obviously it's beautiful wood. It's not that big, so it's not that big a deal. It won't take me that long, and I can get back to my wedding duties. So I'm gonna find the center, drill a hole for the woodworm screw, get it mounted up, and I'll see you over here at the lathe. The first thing I want to do is flatten off the bottom, and for that I'll be using a 5/8 inch bowl gouge. We're going to be turning at 840 RPM, mask and face shield on. Mark out for a recess, and for that I'll use a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Now I'm going to use my dovetail tool, put a dovetail on the side here. That's good. And now we'll just start making our side profile. And I'll go back to the 5/8 for that. My tool rest is a little high. See if I've left enough bark or too much or what. Well, it depends on where you look. This is about right. but you know, the bowl isn't shaped that way. The piece of wood isn't shaped that way. So that's nice. That's a little wide. Just the way it's going to be, I guess. So that's probably about right. Best we can do. It'll look better when it's sanded up and cleaned up and whatnot. I think I'll just apply my scraper to it and see if we can clean it up a little bit. Time for sanding. I'm going to start the sanding with my Sandoflex. This is 180 grit. I've already done 120. I did that off camera just because it was so rough. I just wanted to get it out of the way. And now I'll do 180, and that's as fine as I'll go, and I'll just be sanding the bark here. When I'm done with that, I'll switch to my 2-inch disc starting at 80 grit and working up through 400. I'll have the lathe spinning in reverse for that at 300 RPM, and I'll show you what that looks like as soon as I get my mask on. I'll be doing just a little bit more of that. And like that, I'll bring you back here in a bit and we'll put sanding sealer on there. See you in a bit. Well, Stephanie and Kelvin will be here pretty quick to pick out some of my bowls for candy and snacks and whatever, I guess. So I gotta get this done. Candy and snacks for the wedding. Yeah, wedding. Wedding combination reception, I guess. They rented some big barn thing. But it's an 80-degree day on that day, and it's going to be outside, but then the food will be inside. This is sanding sealer I'm applying, just like I said, just like I did on that trivet. Shellac-based sanding sealer, and I'll apply 2 coats of this and then 2 coats of shellac over it. And I don't show the application of the shellac because it's exactly the same as this, exactly the same, no difference at all. Same kind of rag, same kind of brush that I'm going to use on the bark, same method, nothing different. So there's no point in showing it because it looks just like this. And I do have my little brush and some sanding sealer in this little can. And I'll just apply it to the bark, which makes a huge difference, I can tell you. Darken up that bark, and you have a 3-color bowl: brown, light brown, and yellow. That looks pretty good, right? I'm kind of excited that they want to use some of my bowls because they've never been out in public. None of my stuff has ever been out in public, so that's kind of fun for me. So I'll get all my coats on here. Sanding sealer and shellac, and I'll bring you back and we'll turn it around and start hollowing it out. This is just a quick and easy turning, obviously, but if you have a lot of this kind of thing sitting around, you don't know what to do with it, it's a little bit more than scrap. To me it is, anyway. But anyway, so you could make a lot of these and sell them or give them as gifts or whatever you want to do. Okay, that's pretty much what it's going to look like. A little bit shinier than that, maybe. I'll bring you back here in a little bit and we will hollow it out. See you in a bit. I've turned the piece around and have the chuck jaws expanded into the recess. I've been trying to figure out if I want to do what I said, put a bead like this around this outer edge just so that it'll kind of match this, so that this can set on top of this. Although that's not what this is meant for. This is to set a hot pan on or something. It's a trivet. But I just thought it would, since they're the same kind of wood and nearly the same size, except this one's a lot thicker, I just thought I might try that, but I've been playing around with it here. This is about the narrowest edge. I don't want to get into the bark. I got very close to the bark right here on this one. That's as close as I could get. Now you see there's a space here, and there's a space over here, and then it gets real close to the edge. It's just the way the wood's shaped, that's all. So I'm not sure. This one seems to be more exaggerated than that. I think we're going to have more space maybe here than we have here. I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to decide if this is a good idea. So I think I found the closest edge, closest to the bark. So I'm just going to hold my pencil here Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, real close to the bark there. I guess it's about the same. It's got that same big part there and kind of the same big part over here. Might be a little bit bigger on this one. Anyway, I'm trying to decide if it's a good idea to do it at all. I don't know. I can go ahead and do it. This is what I use, a little bead cutting tool. I can go ahead and do it, and if it doesn't work, I can just make my bowl start right here. Okay. I think last time I did about 1,000 RPM. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it looks about the same. Same as the trivet. So I guess we'll go with that. I don't even have my mask or face shield on, and there's dust all over here now. So let me get those on and we'll get to making a bead and then hollowing this out. But now I'm going to start hollowing it out. I'm going to start here and go in. Or actually I might start in and go out because this is an end grain piece. But if it doesn't look good, if I'm wasting too much space with that, I can still just come out here and make the bowl and just not have a bead. Forgot to lower my tool rest for that. I'm using a 1/2" bowl gouge. We're at 1,000 RPM. Boy, just that little bit of dust coming off of there is hot. Yeah, this wood is hard, hot stuff. I'm gonna go sharpen up. And I did that before I started. We got about 3/4 inch total in the bottom. And about 3/8 inch. And that'll be pretty close. Yeah, 1/4 inch. I think I'll just use my bowl scraper. This one, yeah. We did it. What do you think of the bead? Leave it or turn it away? I guess I'll leave it. A little bit different. What do you think? Leave it? Yeah, okay. I'm with you. Time for sanding. My drill's getting noisy. I wonder if it's starting to wear out. Anyway, I have the lathe spinning in reverse at 300 RPM. I'm starting at 80 grit, even though I certainly don't need to. And working up through 400. I'll bring you back here in just a bit and we'll put some sanding sealer on there. See you in a bit. Can you see my surprise disappointment inside there? You see that? I was sanding along, everything going smooth, and I heard pop, pop. Just one little pop, and I knew what it was immediately, and it's a crack. Can you see that crack? Now there were no cracks in the recess, at least not visible. I always check when I put in a recess. I'm sure it was from the pressure that it popped, and I didn't put any more pressure on it than I do anything else, so it's hard to explain, but there it is. I don't think it's going to get any worse. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. But it is a flaw now. And this is sanding sealer, once again. Shellac based sanding sealer. 2 coats of this and 2 coats of shellac. What I did in this groove here is every time I finished one of my grits, I go through 9 grits, I would take the disc off of the holder and fold it in half and then stick it inside this groove and do my sanding. So that groove has been through everything the inside has. I'm just making sure I got it good. And I had to very carefully not flatten off the top of that bead so I could only hold my sanding disc just right here on the edge. But it worked. Okay, well there you go. That's pretty much what it's going to look like. A little bit shinier when we get done. So I'll bring you back here in just a little bit. It shouldn't take long. And because it's a nice warm day, we'll take a look at this thing sitting upright and beautiful. It looks pretty cool to me. I am looking forward to seeing the trivet and this side by side, see how they look together. Okay, see you in a bit. Be sure you stick around to the end of the video so you can see the before and after shots of this piece. If you'd share the video, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, here it is. One mesquite live edge bowl in the books with a bead. It finished up just beautifully. Real nice wood. This is just nice wood to work with. It can be so beautiful. Love the colors. Too bad about that crack. It just got maybe too thin in the recess underneath there. Although I didn't think it was. I think it's 1/4 inch. But it just gave way. But it's not getting any worse. It's been on the lathe all night actually. This is the next day. And I did loosen the chuck just slightly right after I heard the little pop, snap, crackle, pop that I heard while I was sanding. So I loosened it slightly and there was no issue. It's been on there all night and hadn't gotten any worse. So I don't believe it will, and you can barely see it anyway. And it's just what wood does. It's no big deal. But it's kind of cool looking. I'll put it on the turntable along with the, it's not really a base for it, but along with the trivet, so you can see how they match. And they probably would look pretty cool sitting on a table somewhere together, or side by side, or not at all. I don't know. You tell me what you think. It was a lot of dang fun to turn, I can tell you that. I love turning these. Like I said, it's not scrap, but it's close. It's close to scrap. I like turning the big ones too, just too much going on right now for that. But I will get to some more. I certainly have plenty of them. So I really hope you enjoyed it. I did. Trying to remember who sent me this mesquite. I don't think I know the answer to that. So whoever sent this to me, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for sending this along for all to enjoy. If you like this video, thumbs up please. I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very kindly. I truly appreciate that. I also appreciate that you took some of your time to spend with me today. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to your comments. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop. Signing off.